What's up everyone, it's Joey and today we are making a DS2 future type beat. First we're going to put the BPM up to around 151. Gotta have a lot of tempo for these types of beats. So the first thing we're going to do is use this piano from Labs, which I already put in halftime, and we're going to try to make a really spacey, bouncy melody. So after fiddling around with a little bit, this is what I came up with, just something super bouncy, up-tempo, and that's really going to help us kind of lay that foundation. And it's super simple, but we're going to stack now a top line on top of that, also really simple. So that right there is going to be the foundation of our beat, just these two simple pianos laid down together. Gonna add some fruity reverb too to make it sound more full. Just put the cathedral preset on there, turn it down a little bit. So now we're gonna add some more orchestral elements to fill out the melody. I got these strings from BBC Symphony Orchestra, and we're just gonna lay down a simple pattern. Change it to pizzicato so the strings are shorter. Ended up just making a simple pattern, putting halftime on it, and putting it in the back a little bit. Lowered the volume down to 50% while I turned up the other two pianos, and this is what we got. I ended up moving these strings down an octave just to leave some of that upper mid frequency for the top line, and then just leave the main piano in that mid frequency by itself. Next I added this harp for some high-end texture. Just a really simple pattern, and it sounds like this. Alright, this is what we've got for the final melody. I added this Electra Stars just for some bounce at the beginning of the bar. Put a little bit of a 2000s-ish bell in there just to add some transition from the first part of the melody into the second. And then I also just put a lead in there, a little theremin lead from the Venexi kit. Really dark and melodic, kind of contrasts the rest of the beat's really simple melody. So I think it works really well here. And then the full melody sounds like this. Now we gotta get some classic hard Southside drums on this. So first of all, we need a thumpy kick. So something like that, thump kick, you know, it's perfect. We're gonna turn it up and we're gonna put a fruity soft clipper on the master. Get rid of that fruity limiter. And then now let's just throw a spins 808 along with that. So for the 808, you always want to turn off your loop points. Then go to this little knob right here. Turn the hold all the way up. Turn the attack, decay, sustain, release all down. And then when you click the note, it stops playing as soon as you let go and it starts as soon as you click. So for the hi-hat, got the hit one selected. You're just going to want to start out with a basic two-step, and then you're going to go in there and you're going to add some rolls. A lot of third step and a lot of half-step rolls. And just kind of see where it feels right. Like just imagine your favorite trap song, imagine where the rolls would be. Maybe right before the snare. Like, but did ya?
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
And also add gaps here and there just to add bounce. I'm going to put a roll after this little gap that I'm leaving here. I always like doing this trick. I think it really helps kind of the fluidity of the beat. It really keeps the head nodding because you've got all this going on, right? All these rolls. And then what if there was just like a break from that and then all of a sudden you're just flying back in? Like this. This ain't chew snare. Heard it in every Metro song. And this clap, you heard it in every trap song. I don't even need to be specific. And then, first of all, we're just going to put them on the 3 and the 7. Don't overthink it. That is not the 3 and the 7. That's not it either. Man, what are we doing today? Okay, that's more like it. Turn the snare a little bit louder in the clap because we just want the clap for that high-end texture. We really want the thickness of the snare. So yeah, just Control B to copy that over. And then we're also going to add a little bit as well. We're not just going to leave them on the 3 and the 7 with the snare. And lower the velocity of these because these are going to be more accents rather than the main snare. And the last thing we're going to add for the drums is just an open hi-hat to really make that kick and 808 sound crispy. Just some quick drum mixing, boosted the kick by 1%, turned the volume of the hi-hat up to 90%, snare to 100%, and the clap to 90%. And then I think I'm also going to turn the open hat up a little bit. Really want these drums to hit. Melody doesn't need to be too loud in the mix compared to the drums, especially since we're going for that DS2 vibe. Back then, in the mid-2010s, I would say the mixes are a lot different than they are now. The drums were hitting, for sure, but the melody wasn't necessarily taking up that same room that it is now. So if you're going for that type of mix, make sure you do the same. Make sure you make the drums hit and don't necessarily leave the same exact amount of room for the melody. Maybe leave a little bit less. I ended up taking off that Fruity Soft Clipper and I replaced it with a master preset from Vinexi. Obviously just a soft clipper with the settings edited a little bit, post turned up, and then some EQ just to raise the highs a little bit. And it makes the high end, I would say, so like the hi-hat, the open hat, a little more crispy. And now this is what it sounds like. So now let's arrange it. We can start out with a hook, I would say, because a lot of the songs on the future album started out with hooks. Big thing for the arrangement here, keep the melody simple and put some breaks in the drums. Just add some bounce here. So as you can see here, I took out all the drums for this one part and then I took out the hi-hat here. Leave room for change up. Like, don't necessarily have the same two-step hi-hat going all the way through. Don't necessarily have the 808 and kick, everything playing it the whole time. So just dropped out the open hi-hat here as well, reintroduced it here along with some other parts of the melody. And then just going to go into a bridge and a chorus, copy it over, and then that'll be that. To finish off the arrangement, I added my tag, a riser, and just this siren that you hear a lot in these mid-2010s era future beats. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and here's the full beat.
Joey, what are you doing?